So we got the Two of Cups there. I want to talk about the world for a moment. The world signifies the completion of a massive cycle. It's one of the big 5 cards of change. So, some people see it as endings. I don't really, not really, because it's a Saturnian lesson. So it means that whatever that situation is, whatever the nature of that was, we've gotten all that we needed out of it. It's like graduation. We've graduated from that university or that course or whatever it is that we were studying, right? We've graduated. So this is transitional, and sometimes we can get stuck in this energy. I've talked to a lot of people who say to me, Jay, I feel like that for 3 years. It's been like that for 10 years or whatever. And it's like, why do you keep going back to the same classrooms when you've already graduated from that university? That's the world energy. It encourages us to do a victory lap, to do a victory dance. Almost, that's what she's doing here. To say, I know this. I've gotten all that I can out of this situation. Now, for you, and it makes sense, Sagittarius is your 7th house. You've got relationships coming up here. Because that's why I went with this first. That's what it's telling you. You've gained everything that you needed to out of that. You know what you need to. It's time for a new beginning. Let's wrap it up. You climb the top of the mountain. Let's enjoy the view. But then you're about to get going again on a new adventure, on a new journey. So what is it that you've learned about? What is it that your tough lessons have been around? And this actually ties in beautifully with all that 7th house energy that you have been experiencing, Gemini. I will say that. I don't usually go into the astrology because I like to use the cards for the cards' sake. I trust that people will go and get the astrology of where they need it. But if it comes up as part of the whatever comes up as part of the message, I always share it. And that does come up. Think about that. Jupiter's been in your 7th house for the last year. Moves in a few days, actually. I think it's the 2nd of December or something that Jupiter's going to switch signs. So you've had this energy in your, and it feels like you've learned it. Stuff around relationships. Now I'm going to come to that 2 of Cups in a moment, but how I know that as well is we have the 5 of Pentacles in the past. And the 5 of Pentacles coming up here is, you know what rejection feels like. You know what being the outsider looking in feels like. You know what it feels like to not have anything, to not have the support that you desire. This is a card of lack. And it's lacking of security, lacking of support, whatever it might be. Now, that may be, say you've been struggling with your finances. I mean, it can be that as well, where we don't have enough. We're lacking finances or physical security and stability. That's what Pentacles are. Then this might be that, now you know how to ask for help. Now you know where you can collaborate with someone else or get someone else on board to help you or talk about that issue, whatever it is, with someone so that they can give you emotional support. Big lesson. It feels like a very massive lesson that you've had around relationships. And with the 2 of Cups coming up here, look at this. This is where now we are able to find our similarities with someone else. This is a profound connection. That's what the 2 of Cups indicates. But it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. The 2 of Cups coming up, it can be that person that we're like, wow, this could be my person, because our cups match. That's the thing here. Their cups match. It can be the best friend that we've always wanted. It can be the business partner who comes in or someone that we can talk about our emotions with and they get us. They get us. But the key thing here with the world coming up is that you've learned to recognize where you need that support, what that support will look like. Because with this, these are 2 people that are struggling. They're struggling together. And it may be that, who was there for you? Who was there for you? A very specific message around this is that somebody who was there during your hard time, you see that, right? The 2 of them are struggling together. Now that relationship is becoming something more. It's a deeper, more emotional connection rather than a practical one, right? The other thing with the 2 of Cups is I would say it's very important to know what is in your cup. To know what is in your cup. Because that's what's going to get matched. So if you go out there with an empty cup, you will meet someone who's got an empty cup. And that's maybe the lesson that you learned from the past. That you were doing that, you would go out there with your cup, but you're like, why the hell does this person not do X, Y, and Z? It's because it wasn't in your cup to be matched. And what does that mean, what's in your cup? It means, how are you treating yourself? How do you love yourself? How do you speak to yourself? Because that is what gets mirrored. The relationship that you have with yourself is the one that gets mirrored by your relationship with other people. So something massive around relationships in general. And it may be that now some of you now feel that you're ready for that kind of a connection, or you are thinking, well, I need a friend in this, or I need a business partner in this, or I'm ready to go out dating or have a deeper connection with the person that I'm in. Now, the relationship that I'm in, the person that I'm with. The reason I say all that is we have the Queen of Pentacles coming up at the heart of this. If this is lack, this is abundance. But you know now what you know how the value of relationships, or you know the value of people, you know the value of who you are, the price tag that you put on yourself. Were you left roaming around in, outside in the cold because you didn't value yourself high enough? And so, but no one came to help you when you needed it. You didn't know how to ask for help. Five of Pentacles can show that. That's a very difficult one for a lot of people, to ask for help. And it doesn't have to be like tit for tat. That's not the point of it. It's noticing the similarities. I mean, your card, the Lover's card, right? That's also, we have two people in it. But that's where we accept them for the differences. The two people are very different in that. Here, the focus is on the similarities. People like yourself, who love you like you love yourself, who will support you the way that you love yourself. So with the Queen of Pentacles coming up at the heart of this is commitment. This is value. You know the value of such relationships, and you know the value of yourself, most importantly, right? The value has changed. There's massive energy of commitment that comes in here. It doesn't have to be to a person, but commitment to whatever it is that you picked up from this. And I say that because we have the Queen of Pentacles here, and we have the Hierophant coming up in the present. Ooh, it comes from a very deep and profound place. We have the Page of Cups here. And the thing with the Page of Cups is it's playful, it's soft, it's the inner child. It's innocent love. It's innocent emotion. Think about what that means. Like if I say I have feelings for someone, what does that mean? You can have feelings, you can be, I don't know. And it may be for some of you exploring how you feel about someone or something. But with the Page of Cups, the pages are innocent. Sometimes they're seen as being immature or inexperienced, which they are. They don't have the experience of the knights or the kings or the queens. They don't have the responsibility as well. That's why it's a lighter energy. It's the beginning of an energy. It holds the potential to go all the way up to the king, but not quite. And the thing with the Page of Cups is she has something in her cup. There is something here, but that little fishy can't live in the cup. Right? It must be allowed to grow and nurture, and it must be nurtured and grown into so it can be all that it can be. Now you have the perfect energy to do this. I'll give you an example. Some of you may have not really been going out that much because you've been working a lot because you didn't have the money to go out. I mean, that's at one end of the spectrum, and energies always play out on a spectrum. That's why I do energetic reads for the generals. It may be that I haven't been able to date anyone because I didn't have the money. So, I was trying to figure that out. But it almost feels like now your physical situation is one where that can't be, I'll say reason, but it may be an excuse for some of you that, to do that. Now you feel comfortable enough, or your own value enough, even if it's nothing to do with money, value enough to go and explore this, the emotion, whatever it was. And also to take care of your own inner child. That's being a good parent to your own inner child. That nurturing, caring, loving quality there. Now, whatever that Page of Cups represents, and it is very childlike energy, it may be a staring, I kind of like that, or I like this person, or I like that looks good. Whatever, it's an emotional staring, and that's been a big message for a lot of the signs about tapping into the heart and the emotions. But look at the Hierophant coming up in the present. Now, the Hierophant is tradition. It's tradition, but look at the path that you've been on. It always led to this. Struggling or lack or not getting the support that you wanted. That's not what you want now. For Gemini, that's not what's coming up. Now we have the Hierophant. And so in that sense, then it may be that creating new traditions. Re-looking at this, so what did I have faith in before? Maybe you had faith in other people just knowing that you were in trouble and they'd come and help you, and no one did. right? And that's like, okay, well, I can't do that anymore. Then I need to become better at communicating my needs or talking to people or whatever it is, or expressing how I feel. But the Hierophant is a commitment, and it is a commitment to whatever you have faith in. It is the card of faith. It's the rule book. It's the shoulds. I want to say this. If this is around a relationship, it may be that, think about this, because the Hierophant brings up all sorts of things. I'll use a couple of examples around relationships and jobs. So it may be, with the Hierophant, that you've always gone for a certain type of person, a certain age group, certain cultural, whatever it might be, culture, religion, that might have been it. And this is where you think, no, it's okay. I don't have to go by the rules that were passed down to me from my family or from my religion or from society even. That I have this feeling about something, and even though I've always been taught that that's not for you, that's not how you do it, you will be shunned, you'll be rejected if you go by down that path. You're like, no, you know what? I make my own traditions, I make my own rules now. This is what I have faith in. I have faith that that might be the case. Same with work. Maybe you've always done a certain type of job, if your whole family are doctors, so you've been struggling with that. And in that sense, then maybe you had a conversation with someone and you saw that, oh my God, you're someone that's got your back. Maybe within your family saying, look, you don't have to be a doctor. If you want to go be a musician, go be a musician. If you want to go wherever the dream is. This is a big shift from how you've done things, how you were taught to do things, what you believed, what you had faith in, to now having faith in yourself and your emotions and how you feel. Because if your feelings are not in it, it doesn't matter what the rules are. You don't have faith in that. You're doing it because you should be doing it. And what happens is that there's this kind of horrible emotion that starts festering there, because every time, imagine if your whole family are doctors and you go and try to be doctors because of your family, because you're afraid to get rejected or shunned by the family. Every time you have a difficult day, you will start to hate your family. That emotion will start festering. Every time you get difficult patients, every time something happens, because you're there because of them. So we don't actually really ever do anything for anyone, especially if we start sacrificing stuff. We actually take a sledgehammer to that connection, no matter how good we feel around it. This is not around that. It's not about taking sledgehammers to stuff. It's about knowing that when I stand in my own integrity, when I understand this is what I have faith in, when I set my own course, then I have more in my cup, and I will connect with people. There will always be love and support for me because I'm being true to myself. There will be other people that are true to me. But if I'm not being loyal to myself, then who else is going to be loyal to me? That's a lesson that you've learned. That's already coming in. We're coming in with that. So it's big, right? I think this is where you shore up and establish your commitment to whatever it is that you've learned. All right, let's see. Why is the Hierophant there? I also want to say this. Forget jobs and relationships for a moment. Or, it may be tied into that. There is also this energy of long distance. We have the world here, we have the 8 of Wands. So this may be even, I'm going to fly overseas, or I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to go live here. I'm going to move to another city. It doesn't have to be overseas. But there is this kind of energy of you were kind of stuck because of the traditions or commitments that you'd made. There's a massive new commitment, but it must come to what makes you happy. And there is support for you around that, whether that is because of a relationship or not. That 2 of Cups says someone's got your back. It's all about how you feel about something. I don't know what it is. It's almost as if you didn't have the luxury to even feel this before. Or whatever that struggle was, because that 5 of Pentacles is key here. Whatever that taught you with the world coming up, that is what now allows you to connect with similar people, or to go and express how you feel, or to have the luxury to feel what you feel and to commit to it. And I absolutely get that. I mean, think about it. I've done corporate jobs and stuff. And if you've got bills to pay and stuff, then you have to go and do that job. But maybe now you have enough saved up to go start your business. Maybe now you have enough saved up to go on that gap year to go traveling. It feels something around that. You can do this. You can move forward. But it all comes from what's in your cup. What's in your cup? even if you don't have, you're looking for a relationship, you don't have anyone around you right now, you're ready for this. You're ready for this, but you don't do it the same way that you did it. Remember that. We're coming out of the closet. We're breaking out of the box. That Hierophant. Just bringing our head and heart out. Now, there aren't any swords coming up for you in this reading, which I don't think you need because you have that. You're an air sign. So that's the easy part. Even when I do the elementals, I always say that. Sometimes for me, the swords message, that's the easiest. It's like, yeah, I've got that. I can do that in my sleep. It's the water message that might be a little bit harder for me because I don't have enough water in my chart. So that's where I maybe need a bit more help and a bit more guidance on, okay, well, how can I incorporate my feelings into this week? Your reading feels like that. Look how many like cups. Where else of cups there? That's the advice that's coming up there. And so with that Ace of Cups, it's about taking that cup out into the world where you got the Six of Wands with it. Talking about this, talking about how you feel, expressing how you feel. The Ace of Cups, it's emotional growth, spiritual growth. It holds the potential for everything that can make us happy. So we know what would make us happy. We know, what we have in our own cup, like self-respect, self-love, honoring oneself in any given moment. And you're proud of that. Six of Wands is, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of who I am. Because before you weren't with that Five of Pentacles, you feel like you didn't had enough. And maybe that's because you didn't have the money or the job or the snazzy outfits or, whatever it might have been with that Five of Pentacles. Maybe someone dumped you. That can always hit our ego, right? Where we just feel like, why did I get dumped? Like, why am I being rejected? That feeling of being rejected, but that's gone. We got the Six of Wands here. And, no one puts her on the horse. She climbs up there. Look at me. Look at what I can do. If this is around a business deal, then someone's got your back on this. I'll say that for sure. Maybe it's a conversation with someone that did that. Then this is a passion project. This is something that you love. This is a labor of love that you're bringing to the world. And I've talked to actually a lot of people that have this kind of energy in them to go forward and to express from their hearts now, whether it's to help other people, whether it's, life coaching, tarot, a business thing, Reiki, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be any of those things. I'm just picking some of the conversations that I've had with people recently. And this is then you take your cup out and it's showing it and being proud of what's in your cup. You'd have to hold it and hide it here and be, okay, well, it's in my cup. I feel it. That's great. Because she's like the Empress. So she's going to grow it. If she sees value in something, she's going to make the most of it. And she's going to also make it financially viable. She is very good at abundance, not lack. She doesn't do lack. She makes it abundant. And this is, how do you do that? By showing what's in your cup. And you keep getting that message. Page of Cups, then you got the Knight of Cups as your advice. And that's what the Knight of Cups says as well. The Knight of Cups is the dreamer. And this is about pursuing a dream. Now, if this is a romantic relationship reading for you, then maybe it's time to go offer your cup. That's the only way you will know, with showing what you are, having a conversation. This is what's in my cup. Here's my cup. But that's what December is for you. It's about knowing how you feel. And it may be, you may not even figure out how you feel until you see someone else who's expressing like that. And you're like, oh my God, that's me too. I'm like that as well. But there is this deep message of emotional abundance that's coming up for you. I want to get one more actually for that Hierophant and Chariot before we move on to the Knight of Cups. Let me just get, whoa. Yeah, look, and that's that actually. I was trying to figure out why is the Ace of Cups there, because you already got the Page of Cups. It makes sense because if you're looking at this is leaving the ship behind. It doesn't serve you anymore. The Hierophant brought that message in the Eight of Cups. You may have invested time and energy, emotional energy into this. Like there was a lot of feeling for it at one time. You got 8 cups, but it's not enough for you to remain doing things that way, struggling in that way, or being afraid of rejection or whatever it is. It doesn't serve you. There's something missing. You see that gap there. So this person, she's going off to find her 9th cup. Her 9th cup. There's the 9th cup. That's the, and the, so I'm saying the 9th cup. You're like, what about the 9th cup? The 9 of Cups is the wish card. It's our heart's desire. I know you've put in a lot of effort. I know you've put in a lot of struggle. I know you've done a lot. You've learned a lot of lessons. But it's time now. It's time now, Gemini, to go get what you wish for, to get what would make you happy. But yes, it means turning your back on some old traditions, the old path that you were on, and even this, whatever this was. Now, the Eight of Cups doesn't literally mean walking away from something. I know she looks like she is, because the Cups energy is always going to be emotional. This is where we acknowledge fully, I'm done with that. For me to remain in this situation, which absolutely does nothing for me emotionally, would be settling. And I'm not here to settle. I'm ready to go forward to get what I want. Now, that is a victory card. That is a victory card. Now, that's a victory in ourselves. You know, that we are ready. We see what would be our victory. And we apply ourselves to that with it's self-control. It's discipline. It's all of those wonderful things, the Chariot, to go forward. That means we can't partake in what doesn't make us happy anymore. Because that's settling. No one's settling, right? And as you go forward, you'd actually be proud of yourself. There's pride here. And this may just be, you know, having a conversation with someone to say, yeah, this is not working for me. We need to change it up. What I would suggest to you there then, because the whole point of the Eight of Cups is I want to try a different way. I want to feel a different way. It doesn't have to be that it's not a judgment. It's not an accusation. It's this not doing it for me. But with the Eight of Wands there, it's exploring a different way of doing things. And it's exploring, well, how could we do this? How could we make this work? Doing it with your head held high and being seen and showing your cup, showing your emotions. And that's what the Knight of Cups does as well. Now, the Knight of Cups is absolutely, is one of those people, the Knight of Cups, that he doesn't care. He's not very practical. It's Cups energy. That's why he's called she's called the dreamer, the delusional romantic. But it's also a reminder to dream, not to settle, not to just look at your surroundings and think this is all there will ever be. Anything that was ever created, do you see what I mean? That, you know, somebody had to have dreamt it first. Then they brought it into being, but they had the dream first. The mic that you hear me from, the camera that you see this from, the very cards, the depictions. That was a dream for someone. Now, none of that existed before it was created or designed or whatever by that person. So if they had settled by I only have this much, that's all there is around me, it would never have come into being. This is about going out on a limb for a dream. But what's the dream? What's the dream? And I understand if you're watching this right at the beginning of the month, you may forget, you may still be in this energy, wrapping stuff up. I don't think you've even fully realized at this point what you're done with. Because before, and you know, another thing, with the Eight of Cups coming up, that's knowing what you're done with first. Then you find the thing that you're not done with. And what a lot of people do is, guilty as well, I used to do this, which is, I'll wait until the new thing comes up, then I will leave it behind. Or it has to be something better. In the meantime, I'll just settle. Don't work like that. This is knowing what you're done with first. Knowing that those traditions are not yours anymore. Knowing that you're ready to move on. And that you're ready to apply the discipline to communicate in a different way. To speak about your feelings in a different way. To whatever it might be, right? But to honor your own needs first. Thank you so much, guys. I love you guys very much. Whatever you get up to in December, end of the year, whatever it is, trust that you will get what you need. Everything that comes up now, it's what you need. May not look like what you want, but that's the curious optimist. Be open to seeing it as, yes, this is what I needed. How can I make use of this? I will see you next time, but that's all for now. Goodbye.